Well, hey guys, Juan here. Thanks for stopping by my channel and checking out this video. So today we're going to dive into the Blue Yeti microphone. Now I've had this thing for a little while now. I'm just now getting ready to put it to use because mainly I've been using microphones like the one that I got here on my shirt, which is a Rode Wireless Go, or I've been using some microphones that have been on the top of my camera, like a shotgun mic. Recently I was in a situation where I needed to use a microphone that was omnidirectional and that would pick up a bunch of people in a circle, and so that's where this microphone comes into play. So I'm going to do a little review video on this and show you guys how well it performs, and dive into some of the specifics of what's on the back of this thing and what it looks like. But they call it the Blue Yeti, and obviously it's not blue. This is black. I went with the black microphone. I thought it looked really nice. It's kind of like a matte finish here, and it's just a cool looking microphone. And actually, it even looks good whenever I put it on my shelves as just kind of like a decoration whenever I'm not using it. But they do make these things in all different kinds of colors. They do make it in blue, but I have seen them in silver. I've seen them in red. Usually the top up here will still be black. But yeah, they come in different color variations, but this is the black one, black edition. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at what this thing sounds like, and I'm going to show you guys what kind of cables you need in order to get this thing working, and I'll have links in the description down below where you can get the cables, where you can get this microphone. To get this thing powered on, you don't need a whole lot. You need pretty much 2 cables here, okay? So this is a standard 35mm cable here, like the old headphone jacks used to be, with a double layer or a double loop there. But this is an Amazon Basics 35mm cable. So we will go ahead and get this thing plugged in. So it plugs into the bottom right there, just like that. And then right here is a micro USB connect. So we'll go ahead and plug that one in here. This is just a standard Amazon micro USB cable also. Okay, so both cables are now plugged in, 35mm, the micro USB. The micro USB portion here, which is like a standard USB connector, I'm going to be plugging that in right into my MacBook Pro here. So you just plug it right into any computer that you have, and what that does is it gives it the power to go toward the microphone. Okay, so now I plugged that part into my laptop, and as soon as I did, there was a red light that came on right here telling it that there is power going to this microphone. Now, one of the questions that I did have whenever I was looking into this microphone to see how it works and what you need to get it to start working and recording audio was, could you use a standard 5-watt iPhone plug or any of those square plugins to plug into the USB side of this thing and power it on without having a laptop? That's what I had a question on, and I even reached out to Blue Yeti on their website to find out the answer. They still have yet to get back with me. So anyways, I tried it out myself. Sometimes these things you got to take into your own hands and test it out yourself, but it does not work doing that. You can't just take a 5-watt charger or like an iPad charger and power this thing on. For some reason, it does need a laptop, a working computer, plugged into it in order to give it power. I don't know why, but that's what it needs. Okay, so then the other end here is the 35mm cable. So this part here will go connect right into your camera, and we're gonna do that now. I'm gonna go ahead and disconnect my Rode Wireless Go mic. I'm gonna show you guys the sound difference of what it would sound like. We're just going with the onboard microphone, and then switch over to the Blue Yeti, so that way you guys can see difference in sound and see if, is this thing worth it. Let's do that now. Okay, so this is the sound that's coming directly into my Canon M50 DSLR mirrorless camera right now. This is all the sound coming directly on board on that. So we're going to go ahead and plug in the Blue Yeti so you can see the sound difference between the camera and the microphone. Okay, so now this is the sound of the Blue Yeti microphone that's being plugged directly into the camera. I do suggest you get a little bit longer wire. I'm only like about a foot away from my camera, and I have like the shortest stereo cable here that I can find. So if you do use this, and you know, depending on your setup, you might want to get a little bit longer cable. But this is what this sounds like. This is the omnidirectional. So what it's doing is it's picking up sound all the way around the microphone right now. So there are different settings on this microphone. so that it can pick up like whatever's directly in front of it, or whether if you're in a situation where you're interviewing and you have somebody on the other side, they have it so that it can pick up sound here and pick up sound here. And we're going to do those different tests, but right now this is what it sounds like. So hopefully it sounds different than what it did when it was just the onboard mic, and it also gives you a different sound test of what it sounded like when I had my Rode Wireless Go microphone. So this is the Blue Yeti. Hopefully it sounds good. Okay, so now we're going to do a test. Right now we're on omnidirectional. I'm going to flip it over to the very first setting that's on the switch here, which is a stereo setting. Alright, so this is the stereo setting. This is what it sounds like to talk directly into stereo. Now I'm going to take and flip it around so that the logo is in front of me. And this is what it sounds like that. Because sometimes it may sound different if you're talking to the back of the mic or if you're talking to the front. This is talking to the front in stereo mode. Okay, now we're talking back into omnidirectional, and I'm going to go ahead and turn this microphone around so that way you can see that it is getting sound all the way around the microphone, no matter what position it's in. This is the omnidirectional sound test. Okay, so now I just flipped it over to the cardio pattern. What this is, it's the third setting on the back, is if you're talking directly into it, this is what it picks up. Now, take a look at the sound difference. Now, if I talk to the back of the microphone, and you'll see how it doesn't pick up the sound as good. So we're going to go ahead and turn it now, talking to the side, and now it is directly behind it. This is what it sounds like to talk to the back of it when you have the setting on the cardio pattern, which is supposed to be picking up on this side. I'll flip it back around. Okay, now we're back talking to the logo, the Blue Yeti logo there in the cardio pattern. So I think a lot of your maybe gamers who are gaming, they would probably use this setting right here. So that way it picks up their voice, not maybe their game or whatever noise is coming behind there. Now we're gonna go ahead and flip it over to the last setting on here, which is kind of like the interview mode. Go ahead and flip it now. Okay, so this is the last setting on here. This is the interview type of setting. So if there's two people, you want to put this thing right on a table and you're having a conversation with somebody, it would pick up right directly in front here, and it'll pick up the person directly behind the microphone here. So this is a pretty universal microphone that has all the different settings. There are a lot of different microphones out there that you can buy, and some of them just are a direct omnidirectional microphone, or some are set up to be like a shotgun mic that picks up directly in front of it. This one is pretty universal in the fact that it picks up all the way around, does all these different types of settings. Now I'm going to go back to the cardio pattern for just a second, because I think that's going to be a popular setting that a lot of people would use. Okay, so we're back in the cardio setting here, talking directly into the logo pretty much. Now, one thing you want to keep in mind is if you are a gamer and you are filming and gaming like this, a lot of people want to talk like on top of the microphone like that. You want to talk like this because it's picking up like what's in front here, not really necessarily what's pointing up straight to the ceiling. So whenever you have it in this setting, you want to talk to it like that, maybe tilt it just a smidge, so that way if you're gaming or if you're doing a podcast or something like that, you're talking directly into it that way. Cardio pattern, third setting, goes like that. It's directly in there. Omnidirectional is all the way around, and we're going to go and flip it back to omnidirectional. Okay, we're back in omnidirectional. Now what we have here also is there's a mute button on the front of this, and when it's solid like the light is now, it just tells you that there's power going to it. Now if I click that mute button, it'll start blinking, thus turning off the mute, or just muting the microphone completely, so which comes in really handy, maybe like if you have to sneeze or something like that, you can mute it and it won't pick up that sound. So I'm going to go ahead and hit the button now so you guys can see it. Okay, so something else that is really cool about this microphone is there is a volume button right here on the front of it, and you would hook in your headphones there so that way you can listen to what you're recording. And the cool thing about this is it's got a sound card that's built into the microphone. For example, if you are gaming and you have sound coming in, you'll be able to hear the gaming sound and your voice, so that way you're not like screaming or talking real loud to try and get over the sound that's coming in. So it does have a sound card that's built in there, and therefore you can hear yourself and the game. So that's a really unique feature with this particular microphone. Okay, another great feature with this microphone is you can take this off of the stand that it's on. Now, speaking of the stand, this thing does have pretty good weight to it. It's not gonna like knock over very easily because you see. So it's pretty heavy. It does have some good weight to it. On the bottom of it, it's rubber kind of feet that help hold it in place. Now on the back of this thing, there is a knob that says gain. Now I'm not real familiar with the different types of settings or where you want to put it, but from a lot of the videos that I watched whenever I went to go buy this thing, I have it set on not really halfway, but a little bit more halfway. That seems to be like the golden area of where you should have this setting in to pick up the best type of audio. So what you're hearing now is where that is adjusted, or a little bit more than the halfway mark on the gain. Okay, so this is the comprehensive review of this Blue Yeti microphone. Hopefully it helped you out in deciding whether you want to get this thing or not. Like I said, I'll have a link in the description down below of where you can get this and where you can get the cables needed in order to get this microphone working, from opening up the box, plugging it in the camera, and recording some great audio with this camera. I think it's going to be a good camera for my video making toolbox, and hopefully this video helped you in deciding whether you want this or not. Well, thanks for watching this video, guys. If you liked it, make sure you throw a thumbs up on this. Hit that subscribe button and turn on your bell notifications. I'd love to have you back in the next one. I make tech videos all the time, and hopefully I'm inspiring you guys to be creative. I'll see you guys back in the next video.